Everyone loves talking about travel, but what we don't often talk about is how beneficial travel is literally for our brains and for our mental health. If you're new here, my name is Lindsay. I'm a financial therapist and licensed social worker, and I talk about the intersection of money and mental health. It is June, which means we are deep in summer vacation mode. Over the next few videos, I'm going to be talking about how travel can be protective for our mental health, how to save on travel, how to get started travel hacking, and then also answering one of your questions about money and travel. Let's get into today's topic. More than a third of our adult lives are spent working, which means we need to learn how to unwind, unplug, relax, recharge, and reconnect. All of the re's. And a great way to do that is by traveling. In the United States, we have some of the least vacation time allotted. We are ranked at the very bottom of the pile, technically second last globally, of the amount of vacation time that we get. Not only that, we are constantly fed this message about productivity and hard work and grinding, which means even though we only get 9 days off, a lot of us are leaving those vacation days, paid time off days, on the table. The Pew Research Center recently did a survey asking Americans, why aren't you taking your vacation time? And reasons that people cited included feeling like they didn't really need it, worrying that their colleagues were going to have to take on additional work, and worrying that they fall behind. So we have all of this noise telling us, yes, we need this time off, but no, we can't take it, and no, we don't get that much of it. By the end of this video, I hope that you have all of the reasons that you need to plan your next vacation so you can actually take care of your mental health. Travel has been found to be protective for our brains in so many different ways. Some people cite the anonymity of being somewhere new as feeling free, as feeling unrestricted, as being able to go from place to place, store to store, site to site, and not feeling like they have to bump into a colleague or friend or family member, and they just get to actually be present. Research has also found that traveling actually fires and creates new neural pathways in our brain. When we commute the same way to work, we have the same meetings, we eat the same lunch, we do the same workout routine every single day, our brains get really, really bored, and travel shakes that up and helps to fire and create new neural pathways because our day-to-days are very different when we're traveling. Not only do we not have that commute and that work stress, but we're also probably eating new foods, sitting at new cafes, walking new walking paths. We're doing all of these new things, and novelty can be really good for our brain. Additionally, taking a break from the consistent stress that is coming at us has been found to be incredibly helpful. Research found that for workers to feel like they can fully unplug, they need 10 consecutive days off. I want you to pause for a minute and just think through, when was the last time I had 10 consecutive days off? If you are like the statistic that I shared at the start of this video, most likely you have not taken 10 consecutive days off, because if you're American, you've probably only taken off 9 days over the course of the entire year. So a great way to think about extending the amount of time that you have off of work, and that means not looking at your email, not checking Slack, not calling your boss while you're on vacation. A great way to think about this is to stack paid time off or stack vacation days in between paid holidays. So things like stacking some time off after or before Memorial Day, after or before the 4th of July, or after or before Labor Day can be a great way to extend the amount of your vacation time without having to dip into your paid time off bucket. Research also shows that time outdoors can help to process trauma. The thing here is we have to be outdoors in nature, not outdoors in a cement jungle. I personally love traveling to cement jungles, aka cities, but I also try to make it a point to get out in nature, even if it is going to a city park or sitting down at the riverfront. That can be really helpful in processing trauma and helping to ground our nervous systems. People also say that there is a sense of accomplishment from planning travel, getting to your hotel or getting to your vacation rental, making it on your planes, trains, and automobiles, arriving at the restaurant that you made a reservation for. There can be a sense of accomplishment there. And we know, if you haven't watched my video on brain chemicals when we spend, that a sense of accomplishment is also associated with the chemical release of endorphins. So you can watch that video on why you might be spending and why it might be hard for you to stop. But being able to check things off of your list and do new things is a great way to kind of stimulate that endorphin rush too. Traveling also helps you to kind of strengthen your muscles around problem solving and resiliency. I don't know about you, but I find that when I travel, there's a lot of type B humor. Type B humor being the humor that is funny after the fact, but not necessarily in the moment. You know these scenarios. These are the ones where you accidentally go to the wrong train station, or you didn't really account for a time zone change, or you made a reservation at a restaurant with a very similar name, except that the restaurant that you want to be at is on the other side of the city that you're currently in, right? Being able to kind of laugh at those things, roll with the punches, and be able to have some resilience can all be a great way to show yourself that you have the capacity to persevere through some of those challenges. Compassion is another big thing that is cited when we talk about travel, and compassion with ourselves and with greater humanity, meaning when we go somewhere new that seems foreign to us, we can often find threads of similarities in the culture or the people that we are visiting. We can look at some of the things like the foods they eat, the clothes they wear, or seeing how big milestone things are celebrated. We can kind of get that common thread and go, oh my gosh, we do something like that at home, or I've experienced something like that, and it helps us to feel connected to people on that level. Similarly, a tenet of self-compassion is that we can see that other people also struggle. I know this sounds weird to be like, oh, notice when somebody else is struggling, but what it does is it helps us to not feel so alone in our suffering. When we can see that other people are experiencing pain or hardship, particularly when we are traveling, we know that we are not alone in feeling some of those same feelings. Speaking of compassion, the next thing that comes up a lot is gratitude. When we travel, we can often have this two-way gratitude happen, meaning we can have gratitude for the things that we are experiencing when we are traveling, and we can also have gratitude for the way things are at home. And this can be in the moment, like, oh, I'm so thankful that wherever I live or wherever I come from, we have X, Y, and Z, or we don't have X, Y, and Z. And it can also be once you get home to have that sense of like, oh, I love being in my own bed. My couch feels so warm and welcoming. So there can be this two-way gratitude that can happen when we travel. Ways to kind of amp up the mental health benefits of travel is to actually plan and anticipate your trip. Research has found that people who anticipate a trip, they think about where they're going to eat. They look at maps of the city streets that they're going to be visiting. They think about the clothes that they're going to wear, the bag they're going to pack. They think through all of those things, actually have a better return on the investment of that trip. So being able to anticipate what life will be like on that trip gives you the little mental health benefits leading up to that trip. And it means that when you're actually in the moment on that trip, because you've already thought through it, there's this sense of familiarity, this sense of comfort that can also be really beneficial for our mental health. Also, when we travel, it helps to create memories and nostalgia. Research shows that to really solidify memories, we want to have as many senses as possible stimulated. And when we're traveling, it's really easy to be able to have all 5 of those senses stimulated, right? You're seeing new things, you're hearing new things, smelling new things, tasting new things, and touching new things, which means those memories can be more visceral and they can feel literally in our bodies more powerful, so that when we get home, we can have that nice, cozy memory of a trip that we just took, and it can be really, really great. Now, I just shared all of the amazing mental health benefits of travel, but I do want to note that not everybody can travel, nor should everybody travel to every single place. In particular, if you have a lot of high anxiety, travel could be really stressful for you. If you are visibly marginalized, you might want to take stock of different travel advisories. For example, if you are queer, you might not want to go to places that are not queer friendly. So we want to be cognizant of some of the actual mental health strains or stressors that could come from travel. In particular, if you struggle with anxiety, 3 things might be really challenging for you when you travel. Things like interacting with others, feeling disoriented, especially when you're trying to find your way or navigate through a new place, and feeling out of control. If you experience any of those things, it might be helpful to have a travel buddy or to maybe revisit a place that you've gone to many times so you can still get some of the brain benefits without that overwhelming anxiety. If it is not safe for you to travel for any number of reasons, or financially you're just not in a place where travel is accessible to you, you can still find ways to cultivate some of the beautiful mental health benefits of travel by staying at home. Bear with me. Remember when I said that going to new places and trying new things helps to fire off new neural pathways? Well, you can do that literally in your own home and in your own routine. Instead of having the exact same coffee every morning, the exact same lunch, walking your dog in the exact same way, mix it up. Order your coffee from a cafe, take your dog on a new walking path. If you commute to work, take a different route. All of those things can help to reorganize the brain and help to fire up some new neural pathways that have been associated with the positive benefits of travel. Similarly, you can kind of create a hotel or vacation-like space in your home. That could be taking a look at your bedroom and maybe picking out new throw pillows, blankets, or a new seating area to make it cozy and comfortable. Soft colors, soft blues, and soft greens are often associated with calm, nature-like feelings, so you might want to consider what types of colors you're using in spaces that are meant to relax you. If you love your bathroom, maybe you can get some new candles to help cozify your bathroom space and make it a little bit more spa-like. But there are things that you can do at home to help create this sense of unplugging and regenerating and reconnecting with yourself, even if you don't ever leave your home. Also, you can watch travel documentaries or movies about different cities. When I travel, I like to watch films that were shot in the city that I'm going to. For example, when I went to Bruges, I of course had to watch In Bruges. As I get ready to go to Copenhagen, you know I had to watch Another Round. There are different things that we can do to help us to kind of place ourselves in new places. And even if you're not going somewhere, listening to somebody speak a different language, use an accent that isn't familiar to you, eat foods that you might not know about, that can also help to cultivate this sense of wonder. And if you're not a movie person, that's okay. There are so many amazing travel style podcasts that can help kind of take you on a journey, even if you never leave your home. Now that I've got you all excited about how travel is so good for your mental health, we want to make sure that you can actually afford to do it. In the next video, I'm going to talk to you about how you can save money on travel. And after that, we're going to level up and I'm going to talk to you about travel hacking. Make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss out on those videos. See you in the next one.